the track.
Peace. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, it's your boy Big Slang Hope, man. I got another story time for y'all. And this one basically is about the worst house that you could possibly be on Rikers Island, right? Now, before I even get into the video, make sure if you've been rocking with my content, you like, you comment, you subscribe, and you share it, man, so it can circulate so that people can get tuned to some of my content. You know what I'm saying? Don't be stingy with the content. So boom, right? Now, some people might say that the worst house you could be in is like a high classification house. A lot of times those houses, high classification, meaning like the houses that, got like the inmates that be just wilding, right? A lot of times they be going to the box a lot. They get into a lot of fights. They always in some shit, right? So a lot of times those houses where these dudes are housed, sometimes they get a little crazy because they bunch up a bunch of dudes that just be fighting, going to the box, in and out the box, getting crazy, right? Other times, those houses don't really be that crazy. They kind of like police themselves because everybody is a wolf, right? It's kind of tough sometimes. But also, wolves fight amongst wolves, right? Trying to get the alpha out, whoever is the leader, whoever is the more dominant. So those houses could go either way. And some people, they make a valid point by saying that these are like oftentimes the most dangerous houses. But to me, the most dangerous houses you could be in is a dorm. Now, I'm gonna put the picture up, but a dorm is basically just mad beds next to each other, right? Like you're not in a cell. A lot of times high classification houses, you're in a cell, right? So even though it might get a little crazy, you're still in the cell. For the most part, you can still kind of like get some type of sleep. And in prison or jail, getting your sleep, if you know you got to get it on, if you know you got to fight, if you know you got to get into shit, it's good to get your sleep. You need to get your sleep. So when you can't really get your sleep, it's really hard to be, what's the word I'm looking for? It's really hard to be in tune, have your equilibrium, have your strength. It's kind of hard to do all of those things, right, if you're not really getting no sleep. So to me, the dorms, like I was saying, a lot of times the high classification houses, they be cells, right? Now the dorms, on the other hand, like I said, it's just beds. You sleeping next to a bunch of people. So if you got problems in the dorm, right, and a lot of times, like when I was there in adolescence, right, a lot of times, because after they moved me from adolescence, I went to a building that it was like the super max of the island, right? Which was the Beacon, GRVC, right? So it didn't really have no dorms. It had probably like one house that was half dorms, half cells, right? So, but anyway, so I never really been in a building that really had dorms except for like the 4 building. So when I was in the 4 building in adolescence, I remember when I finally did go to the dorms, and it'd be crazy, right? Because sometimes when people want to get at you, sometimes they're gonna wait for you to go to sleep. Like they used to wait, like they'll wait, like, and they'll do all type of crazy shit, right? Like sometimes they'll put the sock. Sometimes they'll put the soap. They'll put the soap in the sock. Like that shit hurt like crazy, right? Like sometimes they put the soap in the sock, hit you with it in your sleep. Sometimes they'll hit you, either they hit you with something or just getting snuffed. Do you know how crazy it feels to be getting snuffed in your sleep? Like you don't even expect that. You don't even see that coming. And so it's just a crazy feeling to be sleeping amongst people. I was gonna say criminals, right? But you can never really sleep safely amongst criminals. Not only do you don't have no privacy, but you also really don't have no safety. Your bucket, like when you got your food and stuff, like your bucket where you put your food, it's right under your bed. So dudes could go right up under your bed, steal your commissary, take your shit. Like, cause for example, let's say you're not in the house, let's say you get a visit, or let's say you just go somewhere. and there's other people in the house, and they don't really fuck with you like that in the house, and somebody go in your bucket, take your shit, just like that. So it's very yeah, it's a very crazy, at least for me, it was a crazy feeling. And then in the house I was in, we used to have the CO. He looked like Elmer Fudd, right? If y'all know, like the Looney Tunes and stuff. So he used to pull up. Like I told y'all before in other videos, like a lot of times when you're in adolescence, the COs be trying to treat you like they your parents. So they used to have this thing where he used to pull up. When he used to pull up, sometimes some nights they used to make us do push-ups. They used to do like all type of weird shit in that house. But he used to have a big ass ruler, right? And like they used to turn the lights off like at 12. Like they supposed to do it like at 10:45, 11. But they used to let us rock to like 12, and it was like, yo, at 12, after 12, like nobody say nothing. Like he was on some like nobody say nothing. I don't want to hear nothing from nobody. Like, so we used to be like, all right. So we used to be fucking around with him. Like, you know, we used to make noise, and then he used to look through the window. We used to make noise, and he used to look through the window, like trying to catch whoever was making noise. And then I had a neighbor. Well, my first neighbor, he was some MS-13 dude. He was from Honduras too, but he was one of the white Hondurans. So he's a funny dude. So he used to like playing around a lot. Feel me? Like, so again, like we not in ourselves. We sleeping right next to each other. So I used to do this shit where I used to tickle him. That shit sound wild, crazy. Pause. So I used to do this shit where I used to tickle him or pinch him or some shit. I forgot. Yeah, it was like tickle him or pinch him. And then he used to make noise and shit. Like he used to laugh or some shit. So one day, I was fucking with him. And then the CO caught him. Like he caught him moving and shit. So the CO he come with the big ass ruler. So I'm like, I did some shit like I was fucking with him, and I just acted like I was asleep. Like, you feel me? Like I played sleep. And then the CO hit the shit out of him with the fucking ruler. He hit him like twice with that shit. He's like, motherfucker, go to fucking sleep. I'm saying he hit him with the ruler. And then like I was trying to hold, like I was like laying down like this, and I was trying to hold the smile, but I don't know if I smirked, I don't know if it worked, I don't know if it didn't, but I was trying to hold that shit in. And then son, like I felt like son got mad close to my face, like, and he was like, motherfucker, I know you up. Yo, I had to hold everything in me not to move. Like I was just like, I just stayed there acting like I was asleep, you feel me? But he said I felt that motherfucker breath like mad close to my face. Like he was like, I know you fucking up, motherfucker. Keep fucking around. Yo, this shit was mad funny. Like adolescents on some real shit, that shit don't even be feeling like jail sometimes. That shit, like, that's why a lot of these young dudes, they don't even realize, man, what they getting themselves into. They go in there. Like a lot of us, you know, don't really realize till we get sentenced, like what we really did or what we really got ourselves into. But that's just that story, right? But it's plenty of dudes who got popped on in the middle of the night, right out they sleep. And like I feel like that shit is mad dangerous, because you already like in a drowsy state, you already fake unconscious, and then like now, and sometimes you might get jumped. I remember they had Mod 2, and Mod 2, they had a period where they was just smoking shit, like, and I'm telling you, a lot of times these kids be bored. Like this should be like fun, like just smoking somebody. Like I told y'all, they had the sign out crib in adolescence. Like when you start going to school, so the sign out crib wasn't a dorm, it was cells. But because you don't go to school, they just fighting down there all day. Like that was their rec. Their rec was just like getting it on, slap boxing, or really jumping somebody or beating somebody up. Like a lot of the fun activities was on some oppressive shit in jail. In some houses it was a little less than others, but in a lot of houses it was rec. Like somebody new come party like every day. Every day you got a new dude. Like dudes is doing bad. They looking to extort dudes. They looking to just, you know, dudes getting bad phone calls. They coming back from court, they tight. Like it was just a whole bunch of shit going on, and you know, people was taking their shit out on other people, and some people, they was just having fun. Like I used to see in the dorm, like motherfuckers would be asleep and somebody would just smack the shit out of somebody and then go lay down. Like it's just mad crazy shit. Mad crazy shit like that go down, like or people just You know what I'm saying? Like, or people fart in your face, or people do all type of crazy shit in the dorms, man. That shit is just like, yeah, like I hated that feeling, because it's like I just feel mad vulnerable. Like, I just feel like, so usually what I used to do is I used to get cool with my neighbors. You feel me? Like, I got mad cool with my neighbors, or I was part of, like, when I was in the dorm, I was part of a little team. But then they moved me, so what they did was, so in the dorm I was in, they had some shit that was like the dorms, like, all right, it was like 44 beds that was like down here, like all of them was together, and then they had like 6 beds over here. They used to call it the Hamptons, right? So when you stay in the Hamptons, there's only 6 beds over there. So for people to go from here to the Hamptons, to the, like, it's 44 beds over here, and then 6 beds over here. So for people to go from here to over there, like, you're gonna see them coming, because there's a distance in between. So, like, you know, we was cool, and like the people in the Hamptons used to stick together. So the people in the Hamptons was like the model prisoners or some shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? We was like, you know, we used to some of us probably worked in the house, or you had to like work yourself up to get up there. For me, so I like sleeping in the Hamptons, because the Hamptons was away from everybody, and in case anything got crazy, you know what I'm saying, like, we could kind of like see it, and we kind of like stuck together in the Hamptons, you feel me? So it was cool. Sometimes you got to get a little team. Like I told you, when I first pulled up to the house I was in, I got mad cool with the dude from Bed-Stuy, Black. You know, it was mad dudes named Black, but me and him held it down for a little bit till he left, and then I had to, you know, I always was going to hold it down by myself anyway. But that's the shit about the dorms, man. The dorms is crazy. It's a lot of shit that be going on. If you get into a problem, if you get into an argument with somebody, now you got to be leery. You got to sleep with one eye open. Sometimes you don't really get no sleep. That's not a way to live, because if you're not getting sleep, you're not really going to function well, especially in a place where you might have to defend yourself, or you always got to be on alert to get crazy. It's not a good feeling, man. But anyway, that's the story, man. Also, one of my mans, he got his nose broken. You know what I'm saying? He was gangbanging, and that's one of like the main problems. Like, if you gangbanging, let's say you go into a blood house and you a crip, you know, and you in the dorm. Like, sometimes them dudes might wait. They might deliberately wait. Sometimes they get you out of there whenever you come into the crib. Sometimes they wait, because if they really want to do you dirty, they'll wait for nighttime, because nighttime is when it's lit. Like, the COs go in the bubble. You know what I'm saying? And anything could go down. Like, they could just wait for you to go to sleep, or they could make it hot as soon as you get there. But a lot of dudes be on some fake coward shit. They wait for the nighttime. They wait to get you. They wait for when you get that first snowing, and they just rock you. You know what I'm saying? I know that shit got there. That shit is a crazy feeling, yo. Like, that shit is a crazy feeling. Like, fighting on the early wake up, or like getting punched out your sleep. That shit is crazy, man. But yeah, to me, those are the most dangerous houses. The high classification houses are dangerous, but I'd rather be in a high classification where I could at least go to my cell, close my cell, and go to sleep, than being in the dorm that just be getting crazy, and I don't got no privacy or no real safety like that. But let me know what y'all thoughts are in the comment section. And if y'all like my content, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share. Y'all stay safe. Peace.